Hey guys, this is Jack back with a quick video for Geek Assets YouTube channel and for members of the Raleigh Crypto Society. So we'll make this introduction a little quicker than usual. Get right to the heart of what we're talking about today. So the biggest problem for many people, and this isn't just in the crypto world. This is in the stock market world, and maybe options, and where I'm from in the forex trading. The biggest problem for many small traders is to how to diversify their account. What does that actually mean? When do I take a profit? What happens if parts of my portfolio are performing and other parts are not? Am I a long-term trader versus short-term trader? So these are all questions that we all have to ask ourselves, and I'm going through that once again as my portfolio has grown over this bull market in the altcoin season that we're in. I've reevaluated once again what my goals are. So for many of you, if you have smaller account sizes, and it doesn't matter what that means. Small to one person is not small to another. So what I'm telling you is that whether you have $1,000 to play with in crypto, $500, $10,000, or $100,000, the same questions are asked by each of us. The only person that doesn't ask those questions are those people that are holding everything in their portfolio long term. And that is a percentage of people that are involved with us that get our newsletter. There are people that are actually just picking up pieces and holding majority of it long term. But what I'm going to show you today works for those people, which is the majority, that are looking to take their 500 and grow it to 5,000, or their 1,000 grow it into 10,000, and their 10,000 to 100,000. And some of the people that have already done this and are at 100,000, how do you take your $100,000 portfolio and make it $1 million portfolio? I'm going to show you one of the ways that absolutely helps you to manage the dollar side of this. And I've done this successfully in the Forex market. It's a little different here, but I'm going to show you the concept. And remember, you can tweak this concept to match what you want to do. So take the rules and the concept that I'm introducing to you and mold it into something that works for you, into a set of rules that works for you. So you're looking at today, you're looking at coinmarketcap.com. This video is being done 3/22/2021. We're basically we're finally getting a movement in the up direction. Over the weekend, it was a down direction. And what made me want to do this video was really interesting, talking out loud with several people about position sizing and how difficult that is for some people. That, if I like something better than something else, does that mean I'm putting 5% of my portfolio into it? Am I underdoing it, which happens to me sometimes, where I don't buy as many coins as I should of a position for the size account that I have. So with what I'm going to show you now, that's taken out of the loop. That completely is taken out of the loop for you. That decision making of how much you quote unquote like one coin over the other. All right, so let's switch gears and let's pull this up. So what I call this is the crypto basket strategy, okay? And what we're basically doing is we're buying and we're looking at things a little differently. When we evaluate the coins that we're going to be purchasing, it's still the same thing. We're going to be evaluating the coins based on what's coming out from us on the newsletter, as well as other methods that you may use yourself to evaluate the coin. So we're not going to talk about why we're picking the coins or which coins we're picking in this video. We're simply talking about a portfolio strategy. So for our first example, and again, you can play with these numbers. It doesn't really matter. Let's assume that you have a $10,000 portfolio, and you can make this into a $1,000 portfolio or a $100,000 portfolio. Change the numbers, tweak these whichever way you want. So in the crypto basket strategy of a $10,000 portfolio, for our purposes here, we're going to say that we want to maintain 20% of these funds in a stable coin so that they're ready to be deployed in the future. So that would be $2,000, and we leave them in USDT or USDC or whatever it may be that you leave your coins in. Something that's not going to be going up and down, okay? And that leaves us with $8,000 for use to deploy in the strategy, all right? Now, if we break this down, we're going to break this down specifically, and this is a big part of the strategy here, that you're not going to have to guess at what you're doing. So if you currently have the 10, you're leaving in 2, that leaves you with 8,000. Now, for our purposes here, I've broken this down to a 5-coin hypothetical portfolio. You can do 6 coins, you can do 7 coins, you can do 4 coins. For this amount of money, I think 5 to 8 coins is diversification enough. That doesn't mean you can't do more. I'm just saying that's the range. So for our purposes, it's 5 coins, and if you divide 5 by 8,000, you get 1,600 each. Okay, and obviously you can do the math if you want to change this. By all means, it's the concept that matters, not the dollars. All right, so let's assume that you've now targeted, this is a fresh look, a fresh clean slate. You have targeted 5 coins. Now this is crucial for many people to understand this, and that's why I have these numbers here. A lot of people get caught up in this concept of, I only want a coin that's less than 20 cents a coin. I only want a coin that's less than $1. I don't look at coins that are more than $20. And when you're using this strategy, okay, when using this strategy, it proves even more that you need to be open-minded, that percentages are percentages, and the cost of the coin is not as important for our purposes. So that's the only reason that I put the amount of coins here to show you this. So coin 1, for instance, at $1,600 being put into coin 1, that equals 5,000 coins. But on coin 2, it only equals 50. So obviously this is a much more expensive coin. This one's 12,000. So that's a couple of pennies probably. This one's 3,600 coins, and this one's 7,800. The fact of the matter is, this is immaterial to the crypto basket strategy, but I want to show to you that you do not have to limit yourself to any type of coin valuation, because this is what matters, the 1,600 you're putting into each coin. Okay, so let's assume that you're in all 5 of these coins in your first portfolio, and 10 days later, 12 days later, whatever it may be, you take a look at this. And by the way, this is a good point for me to introduce this. I haven't mentioned this before because I always forget. So it's crucial for this type of strategy that you don't have to constantly go in and do the math. You want to be able to just eye it real quickly and know where you are on the overall portfolio. And the way that you do that is, there's an app. There's several apps, but I'll tell you the one that I use. It's completely free. It's called Delta. You can download it to your iPhone or to your Galaxy or whatever you use, Delta, and you manually put in, and you can manually delete or put in a new portfolio. So this is portfolio number 1. Let's call it Jack 1. And I put in that we have, let's say, Ada Cardano for whatever reason. Let's just assume this is Cardano, and I manually put in that I have 5,000 of these and the price that I paid. Not that that matters, but that's what it asks you for. And then I have 50 of coin widget 1, and this one, and this one, and this one. So what happens is, in big giant numbers at the top of the screen when you open up the app, it automatically will show you the overall value to this portfolio Jack 1. Okay, and then underneath it, you'll be able to see what's going on for each one of these coins, how much money each one of these is currently worth, and a percentage for the day that it's worth. We're not that interested with this concept of what it's up for the day. We're more interested in the big figure at the top as to what this portfolio is worth for the most part. So download Delta. It makes this strategy very, very easy. All right, so we purchase these, and a week later we look, and we see that the top of the screen, our portfolio value, here we go, jumped. Now it's worth overall from $8,000, the portfolio is now worth $10,528. Now let's break this down, okay, because this is important for you to understand this. So coin 1 actually went up 75%, which would be $1,200. 75% of 1,600 is 1,200. Okay, got that? So that's how much this has increased this one coin. Coin 2 went up 125%, equals $2,000 additional to the 1,600 that was in this coin. The third one is actually down 15%, just hasn't moved very much, slightly down on that. And coin 4 has gone up a tiny bit, 5%, which is only about $80. Coin 5 is down 32%. That's a loser right now at 512. But the beauty of looking at this as a basket makes it incredibly easy for you to be able to do one simple thing. For you to take a look at this overall portfolio and to understand when you add these up, what percentage you're up. And I did not put that here. I apologize for that. I think it was 100 and something. You can add these up. But whatever it is, this portfolio as a basket is now up to 10,528, which is a substantial jump, right? That's a substantial jump from the 8,000 to now the value of the portfolio is 10,528. Okay, and you can see why, right? You made 1,200, you made 3,200. That's 3,200. 3,200 minus 3,280, right? Minus 512 and 240. If I did the math correctly, if not, you get the gist anyway. The portfolio is now worth 10,528. Okay, 528. So the point here is we have options. So by playing the basket strategy, we can now close out this each one of these positions, okay, and lock in a $2,528 profit, okay, $2,528 profit on that. And I think I told you 100 and something. That's not correct. This is obviously, you can do the math, but you took 8,000 and you turned it into 10,528, which is fantastic, which is absolutely fantastic. That type of return for a week, a day, 2 days, a month, whatever that is. But now you're not so focused on the individual aspect. So this is a different type of strategy than what we normally look at when we look at the individuals. And this works relatively well for people that just want to keep churning their money and also being diversified at the same time. Now, the negatives of this strategy obviously are, let's say this number 2 would continue to go up and this would be a 3x or a 5x or a 6x. You'd be missing out on this, right? You'd be missing out on that because you closed this portfolio out and you're not going to hit those gains. That's okay, because the other way of looking at this is you knocked out 2 of these losses, right? You were carrying these two losses right now. And believe it or not, you wiped this out and still took an overall gain and are ready for your next portfolio. So it's an amazing way of looking at trading. It's more of a mutual fund type of way of trading. And it's very, very successful for those people that don't want to watch individual coins on a regular basis and still reap the benefits. Now, in a market like we have right now, over the last 90 days or so, we've been very bullish overall. So no matter what coins you chose, even with a dartboard, many times you would have hit the jackpot on most of those coins. So you would have been able to take that and continue to work it and work it and work it. So that's what we're doing here with the crypto basket strategy. What are we looking for in terms of gains? That's something that you're going to have to think about. Okay. Are you going to shave off parts of these instead of closing out the whole thing? That's an option too. So here's a couple of different things to think about. You can completely close this out and move on with a clean slate. And now, obviously, you would take this 10,528 number and you would change this to 10,528 plus the 2,000 that you have sitting in USDT and redo your numbers. Always redo your numbers moving forward so that you're allocating the right amount to your USDC or DT and how much you need to put in place in your portfolio working for you. So these numbers would change over time. Okay, and you want to keep doing that if the goal is to take your 10,000 to 100,000. So let's talk about a couple of options that you have here as well. Let's call it a little bit more of an advanced strategy. So what you can do is we always talk about taking profits, right? Shaving off. When we're not doing a basket strategy, we always say lock in some of your profits. So maybe you're up on a coin, you're up 100%, and you take out 15% and leave the rest. And now it moves up again and you take out another, let's say 20% or 25%. Well, you can play the basket strategy the same way if you want to continue to ride this portfolio. So no one's telling you that you're forced to wipe this portfolio out and take this. That's a nice clean way of doing it, and then you reevaluate the next portfolio holdings, which by the way could be some of these same coins, because once you're out of these coins it's a fresh slate again. So no one's telling you have to find another 5 coins necessarily, because every time you purchase the coins, it's a fresh brand new portfolio, fresh holdings. So no one says every time you do this you have to find another 5. Okay, so here's the secondary advanced way of doing this for people that want to know how to do this. So let's say that you are up this amount, right? Let's say you're up whatever this amount is in total here, not the 2,000. Oh, actually, hold on a second. Did I do that correctly? No. Yes, this portfolio here. Yes, that's correct. So this portfolio here is up. This is now worth 10,528. I misspoke. That's without the obviously the 2,000 here. Okay, so in total, if you were to close these out, it would be 12,528. You understand, 12,528, because I didn't count in the 2,000 here. But this portfolio of working capital went from 8,000 to 10,528, just so you're aware of that. All right, so in the advanced strategy, you can basically shave off. So instead of closing this down, maybe what you may want to do is remove one of these negatives. So in that terminology, you may say this one's not performing for me and I don't like the way the chart works. So you can basically knock this one out, take this loss and pair it against this gain, okay, and only close out these two. Okay, only close out these two, or close out these 3, this slow mover, this loser, and this big gainer. Okay, so you locked in these 3 are now gone, and you only have 2 in this portfolio, and then you'll be looking to add 3 more to bring you back to your 5 total. Does that make sense? So there are alternatives that you can do here. The other alternative that you can do is shave off the exact percentage from each one of these. So you can take 20% of your holdings here, whatever 20% is here, 20% here, 20% here, 20% here, 20% here. And by doing that, you're locking in the gains and the losses, the overall gain, obviously, since you're taking the same amount out of each one, and you're lessening your portfolio at that time. So that's if you want to continue to be in this same portfolio, but locking in profits as you go. The benefit of doing that is that if you take 20% off the table here of each one of these, what ends up happening is now another few days, a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever it is that goes by, these are changing once again. So this one that you took a loss on, because it was not took a loss on this one, you took a loss of the 240, a portion of this 240, maybe now 3 weeks later, this one actually is up 25%. So things are completely different at that point. And you're giving some of these movers a chance to grow. So you're giving some of the ones that are up a chance to grow and breathe, as well as the ones that are currently down. So there's options here. That's the only point that I'm trying to make, is that by using the basket strategy, there's options that you can have. One last thing before I leave you guys to think about the concept and to think about it and analyze it with your own math and put your own spin on it, is this. There's nothing stopping you from creating more than one portfolio. So this is kind of fun. Depends on how much money you have in the market, depends on what you want to do, but this is a lot of fun. This is really gamifying crypto. And you know me, I like to look at everything as a game, really, whether there's money in it or not. It's a game, it's a challenge, it's a chess game. So the other way of doing this after a while, when your portfolio is a little bit bigger, I wouldn't suggest this with a portfolio of only having $500, but you can certainly do this if you have a few $1,000s, is to do mini portfolios. So now you're really diversifying, because now what you're doing is you're taking this same $8,000 and you're breaking into $4,000 increments, two $4,000 mini portfolios. So now you have 5 coins in portfolio A, and they're at $800 each, and 5 coins in portfolio B, and they're $800 in each coin. So now you're looking at 2 different portfolios. So you diversified into 10 coins that you're looking at as 2 different portfolios. That's a lot of fun. That's pretty cool to see which one's doing what. And you can even use some of the, now I'm not saying you should be using the same coins, that doesn't make any sense. But if there is a coin you're super high on that you just absolutely want to have a bite of, more of a stake in, you can take that same coin and have it in both mini portfolio A and mini portfolio B if you choose to. Or you can have 10 different coins. Now you say, well, isn't that a lot to manage? No, it really isn't, because if you have the Delta app, you're not doing any math here. You can have multiple portfolios being tracked in the Delta app. So portfolio A, you name the Joe portfolio, and portfolio or alpha, and portfolio B is the beta portfolio. And you can just click one thing in the app and show you where those 2 portfolios are. So for instance, this portfolio here, and obviously we're going to half it, right? So it started with 4,000. This portfolio may now be worth 6,000, okay? And portfolio beta that started at 4,000 may only be worth 5,000. So you made $1,000 in portfolio B on your 4,000 in. So there's a lot of cool things you can do here, and it's a lot of fun looking at it like this. So that's the crypto basket strategy. If you want to play with this, go ahead and download the Delta app, and you can paper trade it. So go ahead and paper trade it as if you actually were doing it right now. And over the next couple of weeks or days, give it a shot and just write down exactly what coins you would have bought, and how many. That's all you really need to know, is how many coins of each you would have had to buy the exact amount or as close to it as you can of each coin. And then enter that into the Delta app for, and call it portfolio A or test portfolio. And it's a lot of fun watching and seeing how you would do with this. So that's the crypto basket strategy. I hope that wakes you guys up, that there's many different ways to trade. This is one of the best ways to take, if you're into growth, if you're not into long term right now because you want to turn your 1,000 into 10,000 or your 10,000 into 50,000, this is one of the best ways of doing it without having to magically pick the perfect 1 or 2 coins and then hold on for dear life to see if they work for you. This is a different way of doing it. The negative obviously can be that you're going to miss out on huge potential in one coin because you're looking at it as a basket, but it also does help to keep the ball moving and to keep making money on a quick basis. Remember, you can easily play this very tight. So if your $4,000 portfolio is now up to 5,200, that's a great percentage return. And let's say you only did that in 1 week, 5 days, 10 days, you can lock that in and keep rolling. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just understand that you can't go back and then look at how much money you would have made on a coin if you would have stayed in it, because it works the same way on the other side. Is that if you have a losing coin and you were in that coin and held on to it for the next month and a half, hoping and praying that it would come back, you could have already done 25, 30, 130% by using the basket strategy. So this is just an option. I'm giving you guys options. This is a different way of trading. I love this way of trading, especially for people that are busy and want to gamify the system. This is definitely a way of doing it. It also protects you more against any of those losers. So sometimes, as we saw in this example, you literally could have 2 out of 5 losers and still come out a huge winner in the end. And that's it for today. So have a great day. Play with the numbers. Go download the Delta app, and please let me know how you're doing and your thoughts on the crypto basket strategy and any tweaks that you personally think would work for you. Take it easy, make some money, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.